So this is how it goes. You can ask any questions, and we'll be solving that today. And if we are not able to answer, we would be answering it in subsequent videos or live streaming. And you can ask your question in the chat. You can ask any questions, and we'll be solving that today. And if you are not able to answer, we'll be answering it in subsequent videos, live stream. And you can ask your question in the chat. And there is a form which is the description there. You can fill that form for giving feedbacks and any questions like you want it to be asked afterwards to be answered. And there is a form which is the description there. You can fill that form for giving feedbacks and any questions like you want it to be asked afterwards to be answered. Anil, good morning, Anil. So I want to know what are the audience, basically what they are doing. Can you please type on the chat like your name and then what? Anil, good morning, Anil. So I want. Everybody, could you please introduce yourself and talk about what is your background and I want to know you so that what's the audience. just briefly tell your name and then what do you do and what are you looking forward from this session. Basically then we will try to solve that. Yeah, hi Chiranjeev. Okay, so now go ahead and start typing questions what you have. Please subscribe to the channel and bell icon so that in future whenever whatever questions you have, if you're not able to solve now, when we have it that time we will so that you get the notification. Yeah, hi Chiranjeev, do you have any questions? So very good question, Chiranjeev. What is a list and what is its use cases? So as we see that everything around us, like everything around us, we were talking about the whole world. If you really look at it, it's a universe, right? So universe has a list of galaxies. A galaxies has a list of stars, and every matter is made up of list of other items. Similarly, when you look at a tree, right? So it has a list of branches, and the branches has a list of leaves, right? So the list comes up everywhere in this real world. Every object is actually composed of a list of other objects, and that's where you need a list. And why in Python, what is a list? So in Python, the list is in fact it is a non-contiguous location. So in Python list, you can have any type of object. It's not necessary that you could have any type of object is possible in Python list. So let's look at the list example, one of the list. So how a list is created in Python? So you create an empty list like this. So could you see that a equal to we create an empty list like this, and if we really look at type of a is a list, and if you look at the length of a, it's 0. just look at it. You could have any type of object. It's an integer object here, there is a string object, there is a floating point object, and then a list could have another list by itself. A list is created just by putting a square bracket, and that's empty itself is good enough for creating a list. Good morning, Imran. You could also create a list like this, b equal to list. Just this is a list function is there in Python. If you just tell a list like this, it actually creates an empty list. And if you try to print b, so an empty list is printed there. So there are two ways of creating an empty list. One is with square brackets, another one is like that. And it could have any number of elements. You could insert an element in between. You could delete an element from anywhere. And what is a complex and use cases are like, you as I told you, everywhere you see different types of, the whole world is in fact created of, basically a list of things out there. So that's where list comes in picture. So if you're reading a document, right? So if you read a file has a list of lines. So you could actually imagine it as a list of lines. Now if you want to take a sum of natural numbers, some 10 about from 0 to 100, you want to find the sum of 100 numbers, then again it's a list, right? So you could have that in list, and from the list you can actually store it in list, and then you can in fact do that. Now coming to shopping cart. So if you go to Amazon, there is a shopping cart there. So that shopping cart is, what is a shopping cart? It's a list of items which you have bought in Amazon. So again a list coming there. So does that answer your question, Chiranjeev? Good morning, Swati. You could see the length of a list. So let's create a list here, and if you want to see the length of a list, you can see the length of a list here. Okay. Anybody else who's having any question? Guys, it's a right time. You can ask any question, right? So don't hesitate in asking question. We will try to answer that here. Swati, Imran, Sonali, Anil, any questions there? Please type in. See, it's a live question answering. If you want me to actually take you through some topic, let's do that itself. Okay, Imran, good. So Python is a language which we use to communicate to computers. Why we need a Python as a language to communicate to computers? See, computers are made up of things like CPU. It has a monitor. It has keyboard. It has a mouse. But in fact, what is a computer? Computer is a computing device. So let it be any mobile. So your mobile is also a computer. It has Qualcomm CPU is there in that. It has a RAM. It has a display screen, and you can in fact display screen has a keyboards. On the keyboards you can type, so you can give the inputs. It has a mic. So now, given this fact that now this you want to do some computing, so that computing has to be done, and this computer can in fact show you something. It can, through speaker, it can tell something to you. Through mic, it can listen to you. All these things which is happening, which is nothing but a set of instructions being executed by the processor inside your mobile or your laptop, or let's say any supercomputer. For that, you need to talk to the computer, but computer doesn't understand English language. Since computer doesn't understand English language, you need to be, in fact, be able to tell to computer what to do. That is through a English language, because that's what human being knows. So Python is a English language type of a coding mechanism which we provide, so that the Python has an interpreter which converts your statements to the machine readable format which machine can understand and then execute it. So it comes under the category of high level language. When in 1950s the first computer was created, so if you really look at it, how exactly the computer scientists used to work around with that is like they used to give the machine, there was a machine language. So there are certain operations which a CPU understands: addition operation, subtraction operation, moving a data. These are the operations that it does. That's all it does. Nothing more than that. But then to feed in, to tell the computer to do all these things, the computer scientist has to do it in a machine language. But then it was so difficult because they were all numeric in number, and we needed a better way of communicating with the computer. Then came assembly language, which was again a sort of English, but it was not really a very English. Like when I'm talking to you in English, it was not that sophisticated. Slowly we came to C language, C++, Java, Python. These are all called as high level language, and this high level language is made sure that you talk in English, and there is a converter which converts into machine language so that you can give those instructions to the computer to do. So Imran, so does that answer your question? Yeah, hi Ritesh. So Imran, does that answer your question? Okay, fine. So okay, Ritesh, what is the use of Python in computers? So that's the thing. So Python, that's the use of Python, as we said, right? So we want to so we want to tell what to do on it. It has a very rich set of libraries. Let's try to look at the rich set of libraries of Python. So Python has a library like NumPy, which provides an efficient storage and computation for multi-dimensional data arrays. So if you really look at it, these are all scientific libraries which makes your life very easy. So when you look at the computer vision now, so when you're telling that computer vision, this computer should be able to do the human job, which is like supervision, or let's say it should be able to what security guards does. So when a car comes, security guard actually looks into the number plate and tries to note it down. That could be done using computers. So if you really look into it, it's the image is nothing but a set of pixels, and that is nothing but in the matrix format. So NumPy provides you that type of library where you can play around with matrices and arrays, multi-dimensional arrays. Similarly, SciPy is one such library which is again a statistical. You can do a lot of statistics around that. All the statistic operations could be done. And Pandas is one very popular library in Python, which again can be done whatever Excel sheet you have. Microsoft Excel sheet, that those all the operations could be done in the Pandas library, and it's very powerful. The whole database type of tables could be loaded into Pandas, into multiple data frames, and then you can do all the operations on the cache, right, at the cache level. So and then you can do a lot of analytics with that. And similarly, you have visualization library. So Python provides you a lot of automation tools in the form of a library for you to explore. So that's where Python has an advantage. So how it differs from other language is that it has a rich set of libraries, and then it is very simple to write Python. Because it is very simple to write in Python and you're able to understand it, it is in that way it is different. So time to produce any software which you want to produce is faster, and you have so many rich set of libraries. Again, you can do some certain things that you don't have to really invent the wheel. So it's all about that inventing the wheel. You don't have to invent the wheel. Go ahead and use it, and it has such a dynamic and vast open source community that it keeps creating a library, and it just provides the people for using it. So Sonali, does that answer your question? Hi Pampa. Good morning, GK Center. Good morning, Prince. So yeah, Vinod, can we convert an array to list and vice versa in Python? So yeah, you could in fact create a list from a from array from a list and then convert it vice versa. So let's try to look into that now. So what you can do is there's an array. You can import a array module in the Python, and then from array module you can create a. You have a list. From the list you can create an array, and from the array you can create a list. Yes, it is possible to do that. Okay, so that's how you create. You need to give the type of the object, and then you can create an array from that. Okay, Vinod. So that is how you can create an array in Python. So if you like to print it, so you have created an array which is an integer here, and then vice versa is also possible. Like from array you want to create another list, so you can have a list like this and give a to it. So now you have created from the array you have created a d type of d is nothing but a list now. Okay, and the type of a is, it's an array. So what is the difference between an array and a list? So array is a contiguous set of it is stored in contiguous set of memory location, whereas a list is not a contiguous set of memory location. So so that's the difference between an array and a list. Arrays are very fast, and NumPy uses array as its underlying data structure. So does that answer your question, Vinod? So this is how you create an array. Given a list, you could create an array from that, and from an array you can create into a list. Yeah, good morning, Atul. Okay, guys, any more questions? So we know that is not in the scope of how exactly random function works. Okay, that's not in the scope of Python, so it's internal to it. Okay. So remember, this array is the one on top of which the NumPy is working. Arrays are very fast because they are contiguous set of memory location. List is not stored in contiguous set of memory location. Lists are stored in a dynamic memory location in the memory. Okay, so there is something called as a stack memory. Then there is data segment, and then there is a heap segment. So the lists are created in heap. Even the arrays might be created in heap, but then they are set of contiguous memory location. Sonali, Python. The importance of Python is that you are going to use this language for doing various things. Like if you really look at Alexa, so Alexa is talking. When I talk to Alexa, Alexa understands my language. What is happening behind it? So Alexa is written in a language, a computer language, where it is going to interpret whatever I speak, right? So it is going to understand that, and it is going to interpret whatever I spoke, and it's going to reply back to me. And all those things are written in a programming language like Python or Java or C++. Okay, and Python is predominantly used because Python has a rich set of libraries which is already these type of code for understanding human language, that is natural language processing, is already written. So Atul, okay guys, so what I think, let's go through list, and once we go through list, if you have any questions, then let's try to do that, because list is one of the most important data structures in Python. Let's try to go through it and let's see. So how do you create a list? Is like you Okay, so let's look at the list here, and b is equal to empty list would be created like this. If you want to create a list, you can give as many digits, like whatever data types could be there in a list. It could be integer, it could be a string, it could be a float, it could be a list can have another list. Any other objects could also be part of the list. Okay. So if you want to see the length of a list, you use, there's a length inbuilt function of Python is there. So on length b, you will get the length of the string. Now if I create if you want to access a string, you use a subscript operator. So there is a subscript operator like this, and then you give 0. In that case, what will happen is it is going to give me it is going to give me the indexing happens from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at the indexing of the Python list. So how the indexing is done how do you access the list? So look at this. So if I have let's say if I have something like this here. So if I have something like probe is it's a list of characters here, and if I want to so if you look at it, the index starts from 0. This first value you want to take it 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and last thing you can access from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So that's how you can index in Python. And let's look at the example here. C of 0 is going to give you 10. And what about C of 1? C of 1 would give you 34. And as we were talking about -1 will give you from the reverse 75. So this -1 is there here. So you could look at -1. So end starts from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do -2, it is going to give me 21. There's no much difference between a string and a list. String is a list of characters. Okay. And let's try to see. If I say s is equal to hello, then I can say s of 0 is going to give me h, and s of -1 is going to give me o, and s of -2 l. So the indexing, as we saw the indexing, like this is the -1, this is -2, and this is -3, and this is -4, -5. So that's how the indexing happens there. Okay, so Rohit, you're asking why Python is used for better programming in comparison to other languages. So the Python is easy to understand, and Python has a rich set of libraries, and hence it gives you better time to develop. The time taken to develop anything is very less in Python. That's the reason why Python is better programming compared to other language, and it's very readable as well. So for example, if you write some code in Python in Java which takes you 50 lines of code, then in Python it will take only 5 lines of code. Okay, and then you could have a something like print C : So what does that do is, like, you have a slicing in a list. So how do you do a slicing in a list? Is like you can do a subscript operator, let's say C, and then you have a start end step size. Okay, so what is this? So the start says that you start at, let's say we start at 0, and end, if I say end as 3, and step size by default is 1. If you say the step size, so there are 3 parts to it. So it starts at 0 index, which is this, which is C is here. We have a 10, 34, 56. So 0, 1, 2. So 3 is not included. The step end is not included in that. And it is going to print you 10, 34, 56. So that's how you can slice a string, slice a list.